Good afternoon. I'd like to call the May 18th meeting of the Santa Cruz County Board of Education meeting together to order and ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
President Van Allen.
Here.
Trustee Acosta. Trustee Alta.
Here.
Trustee Filicetti.
Here.
Trustee Nichols.
Here.
Trustee Roth.
Here.
Trustee Sanchez.
Here.
Thank you. And do we have any board members wishing to or needing to join us by remote access today?
No requests have been made, President Van Allen.
Thank you. Then we will, I'd like to ask everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Superintendent Sabat.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now is the time for approval of today's agenda, and I'd like a motion from a trustee, please. Motion by Filicetti. Second by Nichols. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously by all present. Now is the opportunity for public comment on items not on today's agenda. If you wish to address the board, you have 3 minutes, and we prefer it if you can fill out one of the little forms that should be on the side counter there to let us know who you are. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to address the board on something not on today's agenda? And do we have any remote requests for addressing the board?
No remote requests, President Van Allen.
Thank you. Then I will close public comment and we will move to the consent agenda. Trustees? Cruz.
Rather than go to the trouble and remove the meeting that I wasn't at, I'm just going to abstain from the whole consent agenda. It's okay.
I think that's fine. That's in reference to the 2 meetings back
March,
that you
yeah.
missed. And yeah.
The March 16th meeting.
Okay.
I'll move approval of the consent agenda.
Motion by Nichols. Second by Roth, and all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? 1 abstention. Motion carries 5 to 1 to 0. 5 to 0 to 1. Okay, we are now to correspondence. Do we have any correspondence that wasn't previously sent to board members?
No correspondence, President Van Allen, but I do have J13 forms that need to be signed. So please stay after.
Oh, okay. Great, thank you. So we're now to section 7 of our agenda, reports, discussions, and presentations. And the first one, 7.1, is is a retirement recognition. And I'd like to ask Dr. Sabat to take charge of that.
Yes, thank you so much, President Van Allen. It's always a bittersweet moment for us to celebrate folks who have been with us for some time and who are going to be retiring from the County Office of Education. I'm going to ask our Director of Alternative Education Programs, Johnny Rice, to come up to the podium to celebrate Lisa Carlton, who is retiring from our Alternative Education Program. And if you wouldn't mind going up, is there a microphone there? Or? Sure is. All right. Is it green? There you go.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me in honoring an incredible teacher from Alternative Education today, Lisa Carlton. While Lisa's unable to attend today, I know that she would appreciate the time that we take to honor her. Lisa Carlton started with the COE in 2007. She began as an independent study teacher, served in our junior high program in Watsonville, and then when asked, designed her own school program, which she called Seabright High School. Seabright High was created when Lisa identified the need for a hybridized program that allowed for independent learning while simultaneously encouraged positive peer interactions. Over the last 7 years, Lisa has poured her heart and soul into the students and programming of Seabright High School. placing art and social emotional learning at its center. Over the years, she's created a true school community there. Not everyone gets to leave behind a legacy when they retire, but Lisa has done so at Seabright High School, and alternative education in Santa Cruz is all the better for it. Thank you, Lisa Carlton, and congratulations on your retirement.
And on behalf of the board and the County Office of Education, we'll be presenting Lisa with this retirement gift as a appreciation for her many years of loyal and dedicated service to the students of Santa Cruz County.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Johnny. And next, I'm going to ask that Dr. Devin Stark come on up and give some congratulations to Susan. Is Susan here with us? Yeah. All right.
Should we make her stand here while I do this?
Yes.
All right, I'll wait till the end, Susan. So Susan Groth is persistent. She did 2 tours here at the COE. The second one started back in 2013 when she returned to work in our Early Start program as an early childhood special education teacher. Susan's a woman of many talents. Not only is she a special education teacher, she's also a physical therapist with a private practice in town. She also speaks fluent Spanish. Susan is an advocate for children, for staff, and for what is right. She will work relentlessly to right a wrong. She's a reliable leader. She was the clear choice to become the head teacher of our Early Start program when the need arose. In this role, she demonstrated her ability to engage in team building for the betterment of the program. Susan's passionate. She cares deeply about the infants and toddlers she serves and their families. She's always looking for ways to connect them with the resources they need to make a challenging situation better. Susan's flexible. It takes a special person to be able to conduct home-based services and actually be invited back week after week. She likes to have fun. She loves to travel, enjoys the outdoors, and camping in her Eurovan, which we have in common. Susan will be missed. A talent like hers is hard to find. On behalf of the Special Education Department, I'd like to wish you the best of luck in your retirement because you deserve it.
That's great. No problem. Yes, we're going to take a quick picture. Do you want to stand right here with the board behind you? Sure. All right. Do you want to?
Thank you. We will now move to item 7.2 of our agenda, which a very cool thing in my view, recognizing the 2023 Santa Cruz County Congressional App winner. And Dr. Sabah, are you going to introduce that?
I am. I believe that Jason Borgen is going to be joining us. If he is there, he is. Right on cue. I'm going to let Jason start us off, and then I'd like to add a few comments of appreciation. And go ahead, Jason.
Sure. Good afternoon, good evening. I think Stephanie Sumorna is here too. Want to come up here? So it was serendipitous that Dr. Sabah talked to us back in September, where he got a conversation with Congressman Jimmy Panetta about the Congressional App Challenge, which is an annual event that Congress puts on, where each district representative of Congress encourages all of their students in their district to build an app that can solve a problem in their community. And ultimately, the winner of the district will then present that application in Washington, D.C. in April. And so we took that challenge from Dr. Sabah and Mr. Panetta, and we developed an 8-week program to focus in training students on designing and building applications through our computer science program. And we had about 12 students participate. And I want to give the microphone to Stephanie to share a little about what was covered in those sessions and how TOMA was involved.
All right, so the ask of the students was really simple. It was to reflect on their lives, to reflect on their homes, to reflect on their schools, their community, and to find a need and then see if they could design an app that would meet that need. And so we are just so thrilled. We are so proud of what TOMA was able to create and are super excited to honor them today. And I'm going to actually pass to Elizabeth, who is tuning in virtually. She was another one of our instructors that helped us to guide the students through our 8-week program. And Elizabeth, I'm going to pass it to her because Elizabeth has worked a lot with TOMA as well, not just in our Congressional App Challenge, but also in some of her own classes.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Excellent. I just wanted to say that it has been my honor to work with TOMA. TOMA was part of our cyber club originally. He joined our cyber club, which was a virtual club where students talk about cyber and get information about cybersecurity. He then went on to join my cyber camp, which we hold at Cabrillo College, and the County Office of Education sponsors it at Cabrillo College. Let me tell you that TOMA, he won cyber camp. He was actually elevated to what we call junior TA. He was the youngest person in the cyber camp, and he was the most amazing community member, friend, mentor. He was kind to everyone, and he has the most hilarious memes. If you're ever his friend on Discord, you will laugh. So I was thrilled when TOMA joined the Code for Congress. I also want to give a shout out to another student. He's not here. He's actually in class working on another project. But Leo was also in the Code for Congress. He created an amazing app as well. I couldn't say more about the students who participated in this project. Connection to community, finding ways to make the world a better place through technology. It just brings it brings my heart. It makes me full, makes me happy. Thank you, TOMA, for everything you put into this. And TOMA's family, thank you for letting us borrow this amazing young man for a little bit longer. And I look forward to seeing you in other cybersecurity ventures in the future. Congratulations.
And I would not want to be Jimmy Panetta having to look at all those different apps, and TOMA came up, and TOMA actually spent a week in DC just a couple of weeks ago to present the application. And he has a wonderful story to share about the app. I think it's written in the board agenda. It's called Pill Alarm. So Dr. Sabah?
Yes. So this app actually is one that can help people be healthy and safe. This Pill Alarm, TOMA created this app that actually helps people make sure that they take the medication that they're prescribed at the right time. And so this is something that we think is absolutely necessary. And it came from his genius and his skill set to be able to create this app. And so we're so excited to present this certificate to TOMA. If you wouldn't mind joining me up here. Come on up, TOMA. So we'd like to present to you, TOMA, this certificate in recognition of being first place in the California's 19th Congressional District Congressional App Challenge. Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
The app came partially from my genius, but it was mainly inspired by my mom, who has chronic illness, and she really needed the app because she said they were all bad. So.
Mom, would you like to come up and join us up here? No? Okay. Well, here's your certificate, TOMA. We know that this is just the first of many awards. Congratulations. Congratulations to your family. Thank you for their support. And if it's possible, we'd love to take a picture with you, if you wouldn't mind coming up. And Mom, would you like to join us for a picture? We got to fix the hair. All right. Mom, you want to be in the picture? All right. And Elizabeth, we know you're here in all right, here we go.
You can Photoshop me in later, Toma.
Congratulations so much. Nicely
Thank
done.
I don't have anything to add except congratulations. And this is kind of what we're about here. So I'm so pleased to have this happen. And thanks to everybody who supported Toma and all the other students and the teachers that were able to bring this about. Thank you.
Bruce, can I just make a quick comment?
Yes.
So Toma, I've taken one coding class. My hat's completely off to you. That's not why I'm making this comment. This really is necessary. There are people that need to daily take medication. I personally use my phone sometimes, put it in my calendar, but it's really critical for people who need to take medication at a certain time to stay healthy. So maybe it wasn't entirely your idea, and maybe it was inspired by your family, but thank you very much from we older people in America and some young people in America who really appreciate this app.
Thanks. Any other trustees care to comment and add their congratulations? I think we all feel the same way. Hey, we are now to a very enjoyable part of our agenda, number 7.3, which is to honor the Educators and Community Partner of the Year. And Dr. Sabah, would you like to start it off?
So this time of the year is really about the culmination of a lot of work from our students, our staff, parents. We get to celebrate graduations, and we also get to celebrate a select few who really have been nominated and selected for amazing accomplishments on behalf of students in Santa Cruz County. This is a tradition that has been part of the county office for a long, long time. But it really is very, very special to be able to learn about some of the details of the lives and the contributions of the people and organizations you're going to be hearing about tonight. We started adding a new part of our celebration and our awards with adding an organization that is made a commitment and it is dedicated to improving the well-being of our students in our community. And that was something we added in the last couple of years. And we're going to start our award night with our awards celebration here at the board meeting with an organization that has been absolutely amazing. And as you know, we've been focusing so much on mental health and the mental well-being of our youth. The pandemic has exacerbated a situation for our community and for our youth that was already occurring, an increase in students showing signs of depression, suicidal ideation. And we recognize that we need to double our efforts to be able to support our students in our community. And one of the organizations that has been doing this work for a long, long time is NAMI. And they are an organization that has many chapters everywhere, and they have been amazing partners in supporting us with this work. So I'm going to ask for Les Forrester to come on up to join me because Les, I think Les is in the other room. So we're going to ask all the folks who are here for NAMI to come on into the boardroom at this time. They're seated in the tech center, and we're going to have them come on over. And then this is how we're going to do it, because we have lots of people in the tech center. So we're going to bring them one awardee at a time. And so so Les is going to join me. Give a round of applause for Les Forrester. Les is amazing person who has been involved in a variety of different areas. He's been leading our Inside Education program. And when we selected NAMI as our organization, it was kind of a no-brainer just because they have been such great partners with us. And so I'm going to ask Les to talk a little bit about what NAMI does, and then we're gonna together award the NAMI organization the award. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about NAMI?
I'd love to, Ferris. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Many of us believe, rightfully so, that the nature and the true business of schools is teaching and learning. It's hard to argue with that. But I would suggest strongly that it's really, really difficult, probably impossible, to make that happen successfully when students are struggling with their mental health. NAMI of Santa Cruz County brings it home in so many ways that it's overdue that we're having the conversation. Without a doubt, everybody in this room, everybody in education, where we rely upon relationships, we've all got mental health. And for a variety of purposes and reasons over the past few years, it's exacerbated and we're finally becoming aware of it. So what NAMI of Santa Cruz County, through a variety of services, has given us the opportunity to do is come and present to classrooms where students can hear from folks on NAMI staff and with lived experience about how to navigate the journey. School staff have the opportunity to hear all about what they might be looking for, how mental health might present and be of concern. Furthermore, what to do about that when it happens. And also parents, school communities. So an absolute pleasure and an honor anytime just to be in the room with the folks from NAMI. And am I going to call the folks up or would you like to do that? So I will introduce Anastasia Babulovich, who is the program director for our NAMI of Santa Cruz County.
Okay.
Present this award. We'd like to present this award to NAMI. I'd like to ask, yes, come on up, The whole group can come on up, please. We'd like to present this award to NAMI as our Organization of the Year in Santa Cruz County. Congratulations. Thank you for all you do for our students and our community.
Okay. Yes, I do. So some people, this is a very small part of our team, very important part of our team, but there are 25 other volunteers, 18 other part-time peer leaders, and 8 other full-time staff, and I think 7 other board members that all work to make the programs that you heard about happen. We're so grateful for our partnership with the COE and your focus on behavioral health in the last several years. It's not an easy goal. Behavioral health for the community is a complex goal that takes courage from students and families to step up and say, I need help. It takes commitment from teachers and admin who are already juggling 20 other thousand roles that they're doing for their children. And it takes community partners to really step up and say, we're going to offer these resources and we're going to make sure they're high quality and culturally sensitive and accessible. So with all that in mind, we are so honored to be part of this movement to really make sure that every single child who has a mental health challenge is feeling empowered and included and supported by their community. So we know that there's still a lot of work to do to make sure that every single family feels like they have access to resources and that support. And we are so committed to that future and working together with all of us here in this room today. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautifully said. If you wouldn't mind coming to the center and holding, maybe Anastasia, you could be in the middle with the award. Did I give you the, yeah, it is the right one. Yeah. There you go. And Les, if you'd like to join me up here. Of course.
You can stand on the station, move right in there.
All right. Now I get to talk about the classified employee of the year. And we know that our classified staff are the backbone of schools, right? They support us in so many different ways. They help ensure to create all the support systems that have to be in place to help our teachers teach and our administrators to do their jobs. And there are so many different classified employees that do such important work, from feeding our students, providing instructional support, keeping our schools safe and clean. And we have to, from all those folks, select one person to be able to represent all the classified staff. And this time we selected somebody who is part of the Happy Valley School District. Somebody who I get to see often here in the building, because Paige does so many different jobs, as is often the case when with our small school districts, and has so many different responsibilities, from taking care of kids in the office to taking care of budgets to supporting the superintendent, providing support to teachers and other support staff in the classroom. And so I would like to invite Michelle Stewart, the superintendent from Happy Valley, to please join me up here. Michelle, come on up. Let's give a round of applause to Michelle Stewart. You put your stuff down right here. Yeah, sorry about that.
Good evening. Thank you. I'm Michelle Stewart. I'm the principal superintendent of Happy Valley. And I'm going to read what I wrote about her. I do want to say that I was not the only person that nominated Paige. We had teachers that nominated her. We had board members. I believe there were even people from the county office. So I'm going to read what I wrote, and then I have a teacher that's going to sum up what some of our teachers said. Paige is an administrative assistant extraordinaire. In a small school, we're required to wear many hats. Paige does so with grace and perseverance. She is the first person that the public sees when they enter the campus and is full of knowledge and positive assistance. Students not only come to her if they don't feel well, they also feel safe to talk with her, whether they're in transitional kindergarten or 6th grade. As you can imagine, the office can be an overwhelming place for students who have either been hurt or are sent to the office. Paige always makes them feel safe, heard, and comfortable, and listens to them to determine how she can best support them. As a member of the staff and a previous parent for over 2 decades, Paige knows the community well and never hesitates to connect with students. She knows every student's name as well as details about them to engage them when they're in school. She supports the lunch program and guides students to be helpers, explaining safety protocols and laying out jobs in a clear and positive way. Although she's not working with students in the classroom on a daily basis, she is committed to families and building connections so that students are successful and respected. She runs this school and district. This is my 2nd year, but I know Michelle McKinney could say the same thing whenever people come and ask me, can I do this? Is this okay? I go, I don't know, ask the boss, Paige knows. Although she doesn't officially hold an administrative role, she fills many roles that multiple people do in larger districts and deals with every situation with grace. She's completely organized. She's my right-hand support person and allows me to do my job. She is organized, efficient, and a wonderful listener. I can always count on her to follow through regardless of the situation. She supports staff and knows the history of the district. I'm so thankful that she remembers things and can tell me what happened in the past and gives good input. She's a strong part of the community and people really trust her. She makes every person who walks in feel comfortable and welcome and brings together the school and the community. She is not afraid of anything, even snakes and the internet. Although yesterday there was a bird in the office and she might have been afraid of that. The executive director from Small School Districts Association, Tim Taylor, says that Paige is better than any other administrative assistant he has ever seen. The board members, teachers, students, parents, previous staff, previous administrator, and community deeply respect her and appreciate her. She is deeply involved in supporting other districts and seeks to ensure that I am successful in my job. And I could not do it without her. Her commitment to education is apparent every day as she advocates and nurtures Happy Valley on a daily basis. I would also like Caroline to come up. She's one of our teachers and has been here for a really long time. And she's going to speak on behalf of the teachers.
Thank you. All right, a little bit shorter and we just kind of put it together. But Paige, what would we do without you? Truly. And you know everything about the school and keep us going each and every day. You do your job above and beyond each day, year after year. You are super organized. You always work hard to explain things to us, even when we ask you the same question 25 times. She is always kind and helpful to students, family, and teachers. You stay ridiculously calm under pressure. You are well loved as a nurse, office manager. You have a hilarious sense of humor. You have an incredible capacity to do your job without ever getting flustered, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you.
Paige, if you wouldn't mind joining us as we present to you the award as Classified Staff Member of the Year for Santa Cruz County. You'll have to say a few words. You could put that down if you'd like, so we don't,
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody here and everybody that I work with. I couldn't do my job without all of you, and I appreciate all of you. I do get flustered. I got flustered with the bird yesterday. Because of it, I was like screaming in the office at lunchtime. Donna was laughing at me. I threw up my hands and said, I have to put a ticket into Escape. I cannot figure this problem out, which is where the COE comes in. Everybody here like that helps me and supports me. I couldn't do my job without you guys either. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'd like to have you stand here in the middle. And everybody that's here to support Paige, do you want to come on up? You want them all up here. All right. Anybody who'd like to join us in the picture, come on up.
Happy Valley people.
Actually, if you could move just a teeny bit, everyone take one step this way. Perfect. Perfect. Very good. Thank you.
These are mine. I hope no one else.
This is yours? Oh, you took my. Thank you. Whoops. That's it. Thank you. Now we'll go back. All right. And now I'd like to take a moment to talk about a little bit about this award, which is Teacher of the Year. And we have some amazing teachers in Santa Cruz County. And this year we get to celebrate one of our own teachers. And Maria Ferreira, who works as one of our special education teachers. She's amazing in the classroom. Students love her. And last couple of years worked as a coach for other teachers, as was part of our new teacher project. And so I'd like to invite Dr. Stark back up to talk to us a little bit more about Maria. Thank you for nominating her, and tell us a little bit more.
Thank you, Ferris. Oh, Maria. We may have stole her from PVUSD back in 2017. And she's been going strong since. She really wanted to work with the post-senior program, but she has been teaching special education for 18 years. She's supported students from birth to 3 all the way to her current position with 18 to 22-year-olds. And Maria came from humble beginnings. She immigrated to the United States from Paraguay when she was a young adult. She learned to speak English while attending college to become a teacher. The beginning of Maria's passion for special education originated when her 2-year-old son was diagnosed with autism. When her second son was also diagnosed, she decided to make special education the focus of her career. Along the way, she had a third son, so her seemingly endless energy is truly a marvel. Beyond her energy, what is most admirable about Maria is her ability to see a positive side to any situation. Even after the most challenging day, she will highlight what went right, celebrate, and learn from it. She does not dwell on what went awry, except to learn from it and move on. She has the highest expectations for not only her students, but her staff, and they rise to them. If our department had a wait list for staff assignments, Maria's class would be at the top of the list. In her current position as a post-senior teacher, Maria dedicates her time supporting students with special needs to have full access to the community, to learn crucial safety and life skills, and to emulate her positive attitude toward life. Maria puts fun in Fun Day. She is such an amazing teacher that when we had an influx of new teachers, as Ferris mentioned, she was asked to serve as the teacher mentor, which she did for 2 years. She only agreed to do this if I promised that she could go back to the classroom where her true passion lies. I affectionately refer to this time as teaching the Maria. I told her, go teach you to these new teachers. And it's with this mentoring in mind that I'd like to invite one of the teachers who benefited from Maria's guidance to say a few words. Emily?
So first of all, I just want to say how honored I am to be able to speak at the Teacher of the Year ceremony. My name is Emily Hurd, and I'm a special education teacher in the post-senior program, and this is my 3rd year teaching. I've known Maria Ferreira throughout my entire time at the COE. Last year, Maria was my official mentor through the New Teacher Project, but Maria has always been there for me, just helping give support and guidance as I navigated the challenging aspects of IEPs and interactions with parents. And yes, you've just always been so generous with your time and support. And I remember when I was first just a long-term substitute and I had to write my first IEP and I was completely lost. And this was even before you were my mentor. I don't know if you remember, but you sat down with me at the Cabrillo cafeteria and we went through each part of it together. And like, I didn't realize at that time what that meant, because I'm sure that you were so busy at the beginning of the school year, but you still took the time to coach me through it. And yes, you walked me through each part with patience and understanding. And I didn't realize then how much you went out of your way to help not just me succeed, but all of your other mentees. And you have made such an impact, Maria, not only on your students, but on those you have mentored like me. And I am beyond grateful for all of your help. You have made me a better teacher, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
So Maria, if you can join us. On behalf of the County Board of Education and the County Office of Education, we'd like to present to you this award as the Santa Cruz County Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. Would you like to invite?
Thank you so much for this incredible honor. I was just thinking about being a young woman in Paraguay, growing up in a small village. I always dream about coming to the United States. So I will have the opportunity to learn English and get a, college education. And just standing tonight, I feel like I fulfilled that dream after years of hard work and also facing many challenges. Also, I know personally so many incredible teachers in Santa Cruz County, so I'm very humble to be selected Teacher of the Year. And congratulations to my colleagues for their recognition tonight. And if my peeps can come and we can take a picture. My teacher mentor, Linda, from 18 years ago, is here today. She came all the way from Fresno. And she was actually Vincent and Patch's preschool teacher. My two sons with autism and who are now adults. So thank you. Yep.
So if you'd like to come and please join us for the picture, Mark.
Yeah, everybody, my entourage. Your preschool teacher and your senior teacher.
Yeah.
Do you need some of us to go down? We can go down. Yeah, that's
Perfect, perfect. All right, first we'll do the phone. 1, 2, 3. Got it? All right.
How inspiring is that? Wow. All right. We're going to move on to our Counselor of the Year celebration. And I've known this gentleman for quite some time because I got to work with him when I was a director of the migrant education program. And I'm going to wait just one moment for folks to. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Dr. Krovitz, thank you for coming. So Jose Morelos is somebody who I got to know when I was the director of the migrant education program, who really puts so much effort, his heart, he's so dedicated to the students. Now, Jose works at Pájaro Middle School, and the students and community at Pájaro have suffered and such a tough experience with the storms and the flooding and the evacuations. The school is currently at Lakeview Middle School. And if ever there was a time to have people to care for these students, and if ever there was a time to have a group of dedicated educators and support staff, this was it. And our students have been so fortunate to have the support of the Pájaro Middle School staff, who are amazing, resilient, dedicated folks. I know many of them and have had an opportunity to work with them. And the person that received the award this year, Jose Morelos, is their counselor and has been providing a huge amount of support for the students every day. I'm going to ask the one of the people that nominated him, Karina Alvarez, to please join me to speak a little bit about Jose and why you nominated him. Please give her a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have one of our colleagues here with us today. I could say a lot about Jose Morelos. This is my second year working with him. And I could say that, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, always with his laughter, always sharing jokes, always being so positive, not only towards the students, but staff. He always rises to the occasion, whether it is something that's going on in the school or anybody that is to need any support, you can always count on him. He has a heart of gold. And like I said, it's only my second year and he has taught me so much as a counselor myself. And as an everyday colleague, I can continue on and on, but we only have 3 minutes. And I want to make sure that that other staff member that's here to represent the teachers of Pajaro can also be able to speak on that behalf. But as admin and colleague of another counselor to a counselor, he is definitely a pride and joy for Pajaro. And together we will continue to rise to the occasion and be there for our students.
Hello. Hi, my name is Emily Carmona. I am a 8th grade teacher at Pajaro Middle School. I have been working with Mr. Morelos these past 2 years, and I have learned so much from him, whether it's understanding what a master schedule is and what it looks like and what the breakup of it is, or if it's understanding that sometimes counselors do not get their lunches. They go hungry throughout the day, and dedicate a lot of their time to our students' needs. I'll call him up and he will answer. I leave a message, he calls me back. He does a really amazing job at making things accessible. Every time I talk to Mr. Morelos, he has the students in mind. He has us in mind. He keeps our strengths in mind. He knows what our needs are. He thinks of us. Every time we talk, it always goes back to the kids. It always goes back to their needs. He fully understands what the community's needs are and how we can meet them. And I am extremely proud to be working with someone like Mr. Morelos. And I am extremely grateful. And I am so proud of him because he deserves this award and more. Mr. Morelos, it is an honor working with you, and I'm really proud of who you are. And it is an honor to work with you and to meet with you weekly and to check in, and even stepping into your office for 10 minutes or making a phone call. It's an honor. Thank you, Mr. Morelos.
Jose, if you can join us here, please. Let's give it up for Jose Morelos. Jose, on behalf of the County Board of Education and the County Office of Education, I'd like to present this award to you as Counselor of the Year for Santa Cruz County.
Well, what else can I say, right? Thank you. It's been a tough year. It's been a couple of years that have been tough, been hit with the pandemic. And then after that, our students were kind of getting back on track and getting to a new year. And then we're hit with flood. And so it's been a tough year, not only for our students, but with for our families and for the many parents that are homeless right now. So having the support from teachers, caring teachers that are doing everything that they can to help those families, going out to the community, finding gift cards for them to buy milk for their babies, going to a family's house to get the students to school. So we do it all. I know we're considered academic counselors, social emotional counselors, but we do a lot for our community. And it's not just us, it's all the teachers, all the staff at Pajaro Middle School, at Lakeview. Now we're at a different school. We're combining 2 schools in one, and it's challenging, but we're working together to help our students and the families. So it is an honor to be recognized as a Counselor of the Year, but I know that I'm not the only counselor that deserves it. There's a lot more in our district and our county and all over the United States. So thank you for this honor, and we're gonna keep working with our families and supporting our students every day and each day that we need to be there. Thank you.
Got it.
All right. So part of the nomination process is we get kind of online, usually online nominations, and every once in a while we get something in writing. Well, this year we received hundreds of nominations for Melissa Nix. And whoever was the mastermind behind this, and I think I know who it is, but whoever that person is, Mary Gockel, students wrote about their personal experiences with Melissa on a day-by-day basis. And I'm going to be in trouble for this, but my kids have a tough time writing a card for their own mom on Mother's Day. So to have dozens and dozens and dozens of messages from students about positive interactions, inspirational thoughts that they've gotten from Melissa Nix says so much about who she is and the presence she has on the campus. I'm going to invite Mary Gockel and Colleen Martin from, come on up, please join me. Who's going to go first? All right. So Colleen is a principal at, Shoreline Middle School. Sorry about that. Live Oak School District. And Melissa is a new administrator at Shoreline. So for Melissa to get this award as a third year, sorry. A new administrator getting this award is a really big deal. And it really also speaks again to how much she's achieved and how much she does for students at Shoreline. And so please give it up for Colleen Martin.
Thank you so much. There are three of us who are going to say some words, and we have 3 minutes, so we're going to keep it brief. And fortunately, I speak quickly. If you think it was difficult to get 450 kids to write nominations for Melissa, you should have seen how difficult it is to get Melissa off campus, so we could pull that off. That was not easy. I created a Wordle out of some of the nominations that the entire staff wrote for Melissa, and this is before they had the little game on your phone when you just made a little Wordle. And I came up with an acronym, and it's Melissa. Right? So the M stands for, that's a Melissa question. Every day, every 5 minutes. Hey, I'm happy to help. Oh, that's a Melissa question. Oh, technology, that's a Melissa question. Oh, support a math, that's a Melissa question. Anything I can help you with? Let me get Melissa. She literally does everything. E is for enthusiasm, and that just shows in the fact that the entire staff nominated her in addition to the entire student body. She has infectious enthusiasm. The first L stands for love. She loves our kids. She loves our colleagues. She loves her job. She loves learning new languages. She knows 4, and she loves her family. So she is full of love. I is for inspirational. She is an inspiration to everybody with her daily enthusiasm and love of everything we do, as nerdy as it gets. She's the more nerdy, the more in she is, right? S is for her students. As a newish assistant principal, you'd think you'd be dealing with discipline and kids maybe don't really think highly of you. Oh no, she just leans in, uses her newly invented restorative practices, and gets those kids to just completely adore her on the daily basis. I get to watch this every minute of the day. The next S stands for schedules and slide decks. From the master schedule to today's crazy schedule to every day teachers saying, Melissa, how do we do this? She's like, there's a slide deck for that. Of course, there's a slide deck for that, complete with links and pictures and everything. And the A is for appreciation. She has incredible appreciation for everybody and a wonderful way to show it. She's wonderful at sharing her appreciation for people. And A also stands for awesome time. And that's a special thing she invented for our standardized testing days. And it's just known. Next, one of our teachers, Amelia Siegel, is going to say a few words or 3 sentences.
It got longer. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to speak as quickly as you did, though. Hi, everybody. My name is Amelia Siegel. Melissa Nix was on my hiring committee when I joined Shoreline. And shortly after that, a lot of people told me that I remind them of her. And the more I get to know you, the more I realize that is so far from the truth. I don't think I could ever fill your shoes, but I did want to come up here and say something to you because I feel very blessed to have met you and have had you as my mentor. Anyway, I'm going to go start reading this. So welcome everyone. Tonight I stand before you to honor an extraordinary individual whose passion and creativity for teaching are nothing short of inspirational. Melissa Nix, a remarkable educator, has not only been a mentor, a coach, a friend, and an advocate, but has also played a pivotal role in shaping who I am as an educator today. Her unwavering positivity and dedication to her students are infectious. Time may be limited and it is impossible to fully encapsulate the profound impact Melissa Nix has had on our community in such a short speech. But nonetheless, I'm going to try to touch upon three key areas: our students, our staff, and my own personal experience. First and foremost, Melissa's influence on our students cannot be overstated. She possesses a unique ability to connect with each and every one of them on a deeply individual level, igniting a spark of curiosity and love for learning. Through her unwavering support and positivity, she empowers them to discover their potential, guiding them on a path to success. Melissa's commitment to their growth extends far beyond the classroom, instilling values of compassion, resilience, and most importantly, self-belief that will serve them throughout their lives. Secondly, Melissa's impact on our staff is immeasurable. As a mentor, she goes above and beyond to provide guidance, nurture talent, and cultivate a collaborative environment. Her ability to foster a sense of camaraderie and inspire others is truly remarkable. Her door is always open. Under her leadership, our staff flourishes and our school thrives as a result. Melissa's presence is a constant source of support, inspiration, and positivity, reminding us of the importance of our vocation and the transformative power of education. Lastly, on a more personal note, Melissa has been my coach, mentor, and friend. Since the day I stepped foot into Shoreline, her warmth and genuine care have made this place feel like home. Through her wisdom and guidance, she has helped me navigate the challenges of the teaching profession, always pushing me to strive for excellence and reminding me of the profound impact we have on young minds. Her unwavering belief in my abilities has given me the confidence to overcome obstacles and grow both personally and professionally. In conclusion, Melissa Nix is an extraordinary individual whose influence extends far beyond the confines of Shoreline. Her passion, creativity, and dedication to teaching are nothing short of awe-inspiring. The impact she has had on our students, our staff, and my own journey as an educator is immeasurable. As we reflect on her contributions tonight, let us remember that it is educators like Melissa who shape the future, one student and teacher at a time. This award could not be more well-deserved. Congratulations, and thank you for being such a positive light in our world.
I'm Mary Gockel Forster. I had the privilege of being Melissa's Act 2, her administrative credential mentor. It's not my voice that counts here. It's the student voice. The over almost 450 students that wrote a recommendation, and I am here to give them voice. She's very nice and hardworking. She's very supportive, and she's kind and positive. She does the most for us in our school. She works really well with all the students here at Shoreline, and she's always kind and respectful, no matter the situation, and she deserves to get her to be chosen. She's really funny and fun to talk to. She understands each and every student in their own way, and she supports students no matter what they're going through. She knows everyone's name. She gives and believes in second chances. She took me off the street. Now I'm a straight A student. She knows everyone's name. She's kind, and when you walk down the hall, you want to say hi. She stopped a fight from escalating. She's respectful and hardworking. She's kind, caring, and knows everyone's name. You're going to hear some themes here. She tries her best to communicate with parents. Aside from doing her job, she cares a lot about the students. For me, when I had oral surgery, she went out of her way to check on me and support me. She makes school more fun and tries to make us feel better. She's a nice principal. She helps me do some work. I like it when she makes announcements. She's kind and caring, coordinates a lot of school activities. She works hard for the school. She's respectful. She's been there for me. She's fair to all students. She's forgiving because she has cool dance moves, and she's kind and caring. She wants to make our school a good example for the community, and she speaks Spanish. She helped me when I got bird poop on me. She is kind to take time out of her day to say hi to you and ask how you are, how your day is. She's the best vice principal. She makes us happy. That's why she should get this award. She has helped me a lot when I was in trouble and she was there and needed someone to talk to. She is the best. She takes really good care of Shoreline and she works hard and deals with a lot. I could go on and on. Every single one of these deserves to be read because every student wrote a recommendation. I wanted to tell you that it says she is kind and loving when you get in trouble. She doesn't yell at you. She is my best friend. She knows how to make me feel better. What more can you ask for from an assistant principal? And this woman has made me want to come out of retirement because I want to come back and be her. I want to be that assistant principal and I want to have those connections. I've walked around with her in the hallways and out at break. It's incredibly magical. And so thank you, Melissa. Thank you on behalf of 450 students. I don't have a bouquet, but every one of these has flowers.
Thank you so much, Mary. Melissa, would you join me, please? Melissa, on behalf of the County Board of Education and the County Office of Education, I'd like to present this Administrator of the Year for Santa Cruz County Award.
Now, Ferris, it might have felt like I've only been an admin for 1 year because I don't think those 2 years of COVID count. And it's what every educator wants is to become an admin during COVID. So I was hired officially in January of 2020. And immediately, I think on March 13th, I fit right into those new shoes. All right, predecessor, I'm so sorry, but I'm taking over now because now we're doing this new COVID thing. So I am often not short of words and I'm going to get stuck in a second here because there's just too many things I want to say and too many notions of gratitude. I couldn't do this without my shiver, a large group of sharks. You bring me joy every day and you make me want to come to work and work my hardest for you and for my students and for the community that we have built. I really do believe that Shoreline is my home. I'm a longtime educator in Santa Cruz County. I started here at an alt-ed school, 1999, lived abroad for 2 years, traveled and taught overseas, and then came back and landed at Shoreline in 2004, where I started as a math teacher and pivoted my way up into an instructional coach for the district. And this is my 3rd year as an admin, but leveraging my connections with other people has something that I've learned how to do. Discipline was not my thing. I had to figure out how to make it work for me. And all of that has to do with building that connection, both with my colleagues to make them feel safe, seen, heard, appreciated, and my students and families. So I am really honored to receive this award, but it's not just because of me, it's because of all of the people I work with and serve. So thank you for letting me be me and all my crazy awesomeness. And leaning into letting me be my crazy, because without my crazy, there wouldn't be 6 a.m. emails telling you what the schedule was for the day. So I appreciate being able to be myself with all of you and letting me grow into this role and helping me get better every day. So tomorrow I'll be even better than I was today. So thank you.
Here we have Shoreline Middle School. Come on down. And family.
Got it?
So this year, we get to celebrate 2 administrators of the year. And so we have one who you just heard about, who is a 3rd-year school administrator, and another who is ending an amazing career as an administrator, dedicating his professional career to children in the Soquel Union School District. And we have a picture that I'd like to share that, were you able to scan it? So Melissa Gomez, who works here at the County Office of Education, was a student in Mr. Broadhurst's 3rd grade class. She is right here to his left. And you can see them standing together. And it was only, looking at Melissa, you'd think it's only 10 years ago, but it's a little bit more than that. What year was that? 1988. Mr. Broadhurst's first teaching job, 3rd grade at, where was this? It was Santa Cruz Gardens, where he's finishing his career today. So I got to work with Mr. Broadhurst during the pandemic because he's part of the LGBTQ task force for the county. And I was taken by his kindness, his calm demeanor, regardless of how challenging things were, and just his continuous focus on students and student well-being. And so to talk to us a little bit more, I'm going to ask the superintendent of Soquel Union Elementary School District. Scott, come on down. Please give it up.
Thank you, Paris. Well, between those words and that picture, I don't know what else I can say. I do want to take a second to thank the board. This is a great event. Every time I come, I'm just inspired to be a part of this profession. So thanks for taking the time to do this. It's very meaningful. I'd also like to say that I could have a whole army of people up here. So I just get the honor to do it. I've only known Craig 7 years. As you know, some people have known him 35 or so in this profession. So I'll give just a summary. I think of 3 words when I think of Craig: pride, passion, and poise. Pride, passion, and poise. So I'll tell you a little bit about the pride part. We're organizing, I'll just give you a little snippet. We're organizing a get together for him for his big retirement party. And the last one I got, so we're asking for a little donation to, to the fund and everything. And on Venmo, I got somebody that said, instead of just paying, they said, I want you to know I was the principal that hired Craig. And I get a lot of that ever since I've come to the district. People just out of the blue, like, I want you to know I was the one that told him to be an administrator. Like they take pride in him, right? He's like a son of the district. And I think, if you're a leader and you say, I'm going to hire somebody today, back when he was starting out, and this person's going to stay with your organization for over 30 years, they're going to either teach or lead at every school in your district, and they're going to be able to retire from that district. You'll go, wow, that's a great deal, right? And so I think that's why so many people take such great pride in knowing Craig and working with Craig and learning from Craig. I would also just say that I have lots of stories like the one we just heard. My executive assistant, I just got a new executive assistant. Her son was in Craig's class, and she told me it was like one of the best years he's ever had in school. He's an adult now. Story after story like that. And so when you have stories like that, when you have people and connections like that, that's not just a career, that's a legacy. And that's what Craig's had in our district, is a true legacy. He's always fully present, whether it's a collaboration around a new book we're learning, if it's volunteering in the community, it's something like the Capitola Art and Wine Festival. He's there with his full presence, and always a joy to be around. So that's the pride part. There's a lot of pride around Craig in our district. He has a lot of passion. He is truly a lifelong learner. He is a people person, and that is contagious in our district, and it's contagious for kids and for his staff. Have any of you ever saw his Elvis or Tom Jones impersonation? Anybody in here? Okay, okay. He likes to enjoy life, and that rubs off on people. He learned Spanish so that he could be a better educator in our district. And whether it's something about work or whether talking about a passion like cycling or traveling or just having a conversation, you'll always come away feeling better after having spoken with Craig. Like a lot of what we heard earlier, a lot of this work comes down to relationships. And in our district, we like to play a game. You've heard of the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Anybody ever heard of that game? So we play the 6 Degrees of Craig Broadhurst. Almost, you can, just about anybody you know in our district somehow had a connection with Craig. And those relationships are really what makes a career and a legacy. And kind of like you talked about his work with the LGBTQ task force. He's been a key player in our equity work in our district. And something that really stood out to me is we've been doing equity walks this year at each of our schools. And this is, Craig's last year. And if you don't mind me saying so, he was really close to retirement at the end of last year. And we had a principal opening at the last minute and kind of went to him, and he agreed to be a bridge principal for Santa Cruz Gardens, the very school he started teaching at back in 1988. And so he agreed to be our principal there for 1 year, which really set us up for success so that we could take our time and hire a long-term principal down the road and not rush into that decision. So again, he stepped up and served the district. But you imagine he's in his last year, right? And it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be unusual for somebody maybe to if not be checked out, not be as passionate, but that's not Craig. He's been full in this whole year. And when we had that equity walk at his school, I don't think I've ever seen you quite so enthralled. Like you were full in on that and what it can mean for our staff and for learning about how to have a more equitable school. And, here in his 35th year, still having that passion for new learning and for ensuring that we're an equitable organization. And finally, kind of, it was mentioned before, very poised. Maybe it's the British accent, but I've never seen him ruffled in any situation where that's dealing with students, parents, staff, always even keeled. I heard in the previous discussion about giving kids second chances, and Craig and I have had numerous conversations about students who maybe made some bad choices. And he is always the site administrator looking to give kids second chances, and takes pride when he sees them come around and make better choices. Always looking for that restorative approach, never too busy for anybody, never too busy to have a meaningful conversation, and always showing that poise in promotion ceremonies, sixth grade orientation, board presentations. So you think about what most of us want as a leader. We want somebody who's there, somebody who's inspired by learning, somebody who's a people person. Craig has been all those things. A quote that, as I close, that makes me think of Craig is one by Maya Angelou, when she says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And whenever you talk to Craig, you walk away feeling like he truly listened. So Craig, thanks for all you've done for our district, and thanks for leading with pride, passion, and poise.
Craig, Scott, if you wouldn't mind staying up here. Scott, if you wouldn't mind staying up here, and Craig, come on down, please. Craig, on behalf of the County Board of Education, the County Office of Education, I'd like to present this award as Administrator of the Year for Santa Cruz County.
Can I say a few words? All right. Well, as I get older, my hearing's not as good as it used to be. So Scott, could you say some of those things again? I didn't really hear everything. I think he was saying some good things. I did prepare some notes. Milk, eggs, flour. Oh, sorry, wrong list. Now, I'm humbled and honored to be receiving this award. I know it's for an administrator, and I just want to point out that I started, as you saw in the photograph, back in 1988, teaching young Melissa over there, who's been with the county office for quite some years. And I was fortunate, again, to have her as a 5th grade student, correct? And which year were you Beetlejuice for Halloween? 3rd or 5th? One of those, right? Anyway, so, I grew up in England, and at a very early age, I always put teachers on a pedestal. I thought, I don't know where I got that from. I thought these are special people. And I think that's why I aspired to be a teacher and became one in my early 20s. I think we can all think back to our childhood and the teachers that we had and pick out some favorites. And I don't remember all the lessons that I sat through, but I do remember those adult teachers who connected with me and made me feel like they cared. And that's the kind of person I want to be for our youth, is an adult who cares for our youth and listens to them and does the best that they can for them. Yeah, I landed in Santa Cruz County in 1988, started teaching 3rd grade in this district. And with the exception of 1 year in Pajaro and 2 years in Austria, I've been in this district since 1988. And I believe that I'm retiring at the end of this year, as you heard, and I started at the Gardens, and I've been a few other places, and I'm coming back to the Gardens, and that feels special. And I'm really thankful for the opportunity, Scott, to go back to the Gardens in a different role and end where I started. It's really been a special year. I believe public education should be a pathway to opportunities, and it definitely was for me. And that's why I'm proud of our work at the middle school when we brought the AVID program in for our middle school students and put college on the horizon of students who might not necessarily have that to look forward to. I'm super proud of the work we've done with the AVID program at New Brighton Middle School. I want to thank Dr. Sabah and the COE for acknowledging and recognizing all these public school positions that we've recognized today. I'd also like to acknowledge all the administrators who are working in our public schools in the county, all the classified personnel, all the certificated personnel. In the best of conditions, being a public school employee can be difficult. And we've been through some really difficult times, as we all know, in the last few years. And I want to give a nod to Dr. Sabah, because I've been in this district since 1988, and I've seen a few county superintendents. And I have been very impressed about how you've brought the districts in this county together during these last few challenging years. And through conversations with Scott, he shares things that come out. Yeah, let's give him. I think you've brought the county school districts together like nobody else has, and I appreciate that. Thank you. To those who nominated me, I was very surprised to learn that I'd been selected for this award, and I sincerely want to thank all who supported my nomination. And I'm especially appreciative of the support that I've had from our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Jessica Glantz, Assistant Superintendent Michelle Kennedy, and Superintendent Scott Turnbull. There've been countless other colleagues in our district that have supported me. And as well, I've been supported by the professional development that's been provided by the COE through the years. So I appreciate that too. And I want to acknowledge the support of my daughter, Milan, and my partner, Nancy. And sincere thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Yes, please join us for a photo.
A rose between two thorns. Thorn between two roses.
All right, perfect. Look right here. Got it.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sabah, and congratulations to all the honorees tonight. Trustees, we are going to actually take a brief recess to enjoy part of the celebration. And so we've been invited to the tech room for a 10-minute dessert opportunity. And so I'm going to temporarily adjourn the meeting. What time is it? 5:20 until 5:30. Okay, I'm going to reopen the county board meeting of May 18th, 2023, and we are at new business, number 8. And the first item is 8.1, approval of a resolution 23-18 recognizing LGBTQ plus Pride Month. Trustee Nichols, would you care to introduce this?
Well, I would. Yes, I would. And I really want to thank Bernice and Nick. Nick, I'll have to, when Nick comes and sits in that chair over there, I'm going to thank him too, because it's really helpful the way you send the resolutions to us and have fixed them and changed the wording sometimes and put our name on the resolution. Anyway, I didn't realize that the rainbow flag was called the Progress flag. It's been renamed, I think. And I'm sorry I didn't get to make it because that's when I came down with COVID. So so I had to cancel, and yet I imagined the ceremony from my rest bed. And Pride Month is to inspire equity, create alliances, celebrate diversity, and establish safe environments in our schools and communities throughout the county. That's at the heart of this resolution. And I'd like the board to approve of this resolution on the basis of it being meaningful, that celebrating diversity is something that we should spread around more and more. So with that, somebody might make a motion.
And I'll second.
Motion by Roth, second by Felicetti. Any further board comments? Rose?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, obviously we do this every year. This year, when I see what's happening around our nation, I take pride that Santa Cruz in particular and California in general celebrates every individual and their identity and supports them and provides them health care to support what they need, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every year I try to go to the Quila dinner, which I went to last Saturday. Such an incredibly happy. Every person there at the table is cheering on these kids. And of course, he didn't speak so much this year, but most years, John Laird gets up and he talks about how when he was growing up, never in his lifetime could he imagine that not only did he wouldn't have to hide his identity, but that his identity would be celebrated and his leadership would be celebrated, and how important that is to building kids up and making them successful. So thank you very much. I also had to miss the flag raising, but thank you, particularly in this year, for really coming out and making a statement, including gender pronouns, because apparently now that's under attack. So thank you.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, Rose, thank you. I think you spoke for all of us.
I did also want to share that Craig Broadhurst just shared that there was 20 people that went to the board, SoCal's board last night to protest the raising of the rainbow flag. And so the kind of counter movement to the progress that has been made in support of our LGBTQ community is at risk even here. And I think that this statement and this resolution is extremely important, and your support of recognizing and embracing the uniquenesses that people bring, the different when it comes to gender and sexual orientation, and just I think it's really important for us to stand on behalf of as allies and as in support of the LGBTQ community.
Also, at the San Lorenzo board meeting, their last one, I believe there were about 10 people that got up and protested, but the board passed and they will be flying the flag. The same thing occurred in Scotts Valley City last year, where it was a contentious meeting, and they too went ahead and approved. And then it was this year there was no Right, but a student got up and said we should fly it all year long. So.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. They're moving forward.
Rose.
Sometimes I don't think adults understand how difficult it is for kids to be themselves, to come out, to be labeled, for lack of a better word. They tend to make proclamations about an anonymous group on paper, and they don't think about the kid who's struggling and needs support. And that's why, even though it's just a token, I think it's really important that we make the statement.
We have a motion and a second. We'll have a roll call vote, please.
Yes, trustee Acosta.
Aye.
Trustee Alto.
Yes.
Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
Trustee Felicetti.
Aye.
Trustee Roth.
Yes.
Trustee Sanchez.
Yes.
President Van Allen.
Motion carries unanimously. And now we're to item 8.2, approval of resolution 23-19, recognizing Juneteenth. And Sandra, did you want to say something, or did you
I
want
wanted to say something about Juneteenth.
Please do.
It was some time ago that I hadn't heard that expression. And I was talking to a lady who is an activist in the community, and she mentioned, well, do you know about Juneteenth? And I said, no, I've never heard of that. What does it mean? And she then told me, I don't think she told me the full story. The full story is in the resolution, though, that back in the days of the Civil War, when the Emancipation Proclamation was being put out and the country was learning about how that had been, the slaves were free. And that the word didn't get to Texas because, of course, there wasn't television, there wasn't the internet, no Facebook, nobody to tell them that the communication in those days was really slow. And I don't know whether the people that lived in Texas that held slaves didn't tell the slaves because they needed to have their slave labor, or whether they really didn't know in Texas. And I think it was Texas and Oklahoma, but it does say exactly 1 year after Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and declared that the enslaved people had been freed by the Emancipation Proclamation. I just think that that is an interesting aspect, and why it's called Juneteenth. It's the 19th of June that it was first celebrated, and so Juneteenth means a lot more than just a funny word that you might never have heard before. But it was the celebration that brought to Texas the emancipation of the slaves that lived there. Glad we have this on the table tonight.
Thank you. I wanted to mention I added a clause to the nice draft from the staff because of an experience I had several years ago. I was working on a political campaign, and we arranged to celebrate Juneteenth in connection with the campaign in Monterey. And I had to create the promotional materials for it. And I knew of Juneteenth, but I didn't know the details. So I studied up on the history and the details, and I wrote up an impassioned little couple paragraphs about liberation and abolishing slavery and things like that, and sent it down to the group in the community to check it out. And they got back to me and said, man, you don't get it. And I said, what do you mean? And, I researched this, no, this is a celebration. This is not a history lesson. And so I added the clause here, which has increasingly, to me, been an important part of what Juneteenth is, not only for people in the formerly enslaved in the Black community, but for the whole country, which is Juneteenth celebrations have become a tradition shared by Black Americans with all of us to celebrate community resiliency and Black cultural achievements. In other words, this isn't just about a history lesson. This is about celebrating a community or a bunch of communities and a culture. So I just wanted to mention that. Any other board comments? I'll entertain motion. Motion by Felicetti.
I'll second.
second by Nichols, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Acosta.
Aye.
Trustee Alta.
Yes.
Trustee Felicity.
Aye.
Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
Trustee Roth.
Yes.
Trustee Sanchez.
Yes.
President Van Allen.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously of all present. We're now to item 8.3, approval of resolution 23-20. Our dedicated staff have been patiently waiting for, authorizing interfund transfer and designation of the fund balance as committed. And we have Melissa to present this. As soon as we have a microphone, we have Melissa.
There we go. I would like to introduce one of our directors of business services, Melissa Lopez, and also Rebecca Olker, who are here to provide a report.
Thank you. President Van Allen, trustees, Dr. Sabah, thank you for having Becky and I here tonight. It does feel a little unfair after all of the celebrations to come up at the very end to talk about business on our Fund 14 for deferred maintenance. This is an amendment to replace the existing resolution from 10 years ago or so that was designating some of our general fund dollars be moved or transferred into our Fund 14 restricted fund for deferred maintenance. We had several conversations between our business managers and Leanne, and we had a few different interpretations of the previous resolution. And so Leanne felt it was in our best interest to amend the resolution so that we had clarity and that we were all on the same page with the intent. So we've been in this building here coming up on 16 years next month, and there's been some wear and tear that's happened. And so we have quite a few large scale deferred maintenance projects that will be coming up in the next few years, and thought it would be in the best interest to make sure that we are setting aside enough funds to prepay, in essence, enough for some of these projects. So with this resolution, the intent is to maintain a target balance of $1 million in our Fund 14. And this commits up to $200,000 as a required contribution or transfer into Fund 14 annually, should the fund drop below $1 million. But it also doesn't put a maximum on the fund so that we can continue to contribute and to transfer dollars over when we know projects are coming. So I know for next year and next month when you see the 23-24 proposed budget, there will be some pretty significant dollars that we're trying to set aside for things like replacing of roofs, redoing pavement and paving, and there's a couple school sites that need some of those qualified purchases as well. So are there any questions about the resolution?
Please.
I'm all for it. Money ahead.
Yeah, Rose?
In the spirit of approving the debt ceiling. I make a motion that we approve this resolution.
I'll second.
Motion by Felicity, second by Roth. Did you have any comment?
No, I just wanted to give a shout out to our business services department. They do outstanding work under difficult circumstances, and just want to thank you for your amazing work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does the roof leak above their department?
Among other things, they keep us dry. Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I'll have a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Acosta.
Aye.
Trustee Alta.
Yes.
Trustee Felicity. Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
Trustee Roth.
Yes.
Trustee Sanchez.
Yes.
President Van Allen.
Aye. Thank you. And we're now to section 9, our reports, and I'll start with Dr. Sabah's report.
Great, thank you so much. Just wanted to share a few announcements and some kind of appreciations. Thank you for those of you that were able to join us on our picnic. And go ahead to the first slide. It was a great opportunity to come together. It was one of our, I think, biggest turnouts in a long, long time. And we got to really celebrate together and enjoy each other's company. And it was really wonderful that way. So thank you for that. We are, of course, in graduation season right now. And so we're hoping that you will be able to join us for at least some of the graduation celebrations. It's really exciting that I've been visiting some of the school sites. We got to go out there and visit our schools and give them a bento box that you will also be receiving for yourselves to be able to bring your lunch in. And the numbers of students who are going to be graduating this season is higher than ever. And so we're really excited that we're going to be seeing that. I'd like to give a huge thank you. I talked to you about Angela Meeker, Dr. Angela Meeker, who was our director of District Support Services and Leadership. Thank you. And now is our interim associate superintendent of educational services, and has been doing an outstanding job supporting our program. And so really grateful to her for stepping up and helping us with the educational services department. As I shared with you, I think last month, Dr. Meekers has a lot of experience both working at Delta, but also at Santa Cruz City Schools at the cabinet level, and lots of experience as an administrator and as an educator and a teacher. And so we're really grateful for her leadership. One of the programs that we are sharing with our staff is a college savings account, the 529 accounts that they're able to set up. And that's something that we've been promoting for all our staff to consider putting some money aside. We also partner with a group called Semillitas, which is a program that sets up a bank account for every child born in Santa Cruz County. And they get an initial deposit of $50 into that account. But what is exciting about this is that if you think about that, in the last, I think, 4 years, we've been supporting the program. There's been 6,000 students who have this account set up for them. It has been shown that students who have a bank account, the likelihood of them going to college increases significantly. And not only that, it also creates a mechanism for people who want to create donations to be able to deposit directly into that account. And so somebody who wants to support students, you could create a scholarship, or you could basically provide funding that goes into that bank account. And that money goes for families to be able, for this student to take out for any aspect of their education could be for books, it could be for tuition. And so this is something that's really positive. We're also promoting it for our staff. I hope to see you at the June 4th Pride Parade. I was selected as the Grand Marshal. I always forget that one. Grand Marshal for that event, which is very exciting. And we're also, for the first time, actually going to have our own, what do you call it? Contingent. Thank you. So if you'd like to be a part of that, we'd talk to Berenice so you can join us and we could march together. And you want to join me in the Cadillac? All right, all right. You want to do the waving? Help me practice my wave. Continuing our support for our LGBTQ community, of course. I think it starts, we're supposed to be there at 10, right? The march is at 11, but
I think we start assembling it.
Yeah, I think. Okay, we'll get you the information. I wanted to share that Jesus Reyes was selected as Hero for Youth by Pajaro Valley Prevention and Student Assistance. He works at our Career Advancement Charter in Watsonville. And Dr. Meeker and our Ed Services Department has been visiting all the school districts and what she calls a listening tour. And maybe you could tell us, Angela, a little bit more about that. Oh, yes, you do need. I left the mic up on the. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, we are coming up. I think we've done 11 tours and we're learning a lot. The purpose of the tour was really to get out and have an opportunity to hear from districts about their professional learning needs, but also to give them an opportunity to share what they are doing. So not coming at it really from an assets-based approach of knowing that they're doing great work, but also we want to support them in any way that we can. So it's been a great experience, and now we have to put all of the data together and make sense of it. So looking forward to doing that.
One of the things that Angela has been sharing has been a lot of kudos to our business services departments, our ed services departments, appreciation for what the County Office of Education does. And that helps us know what is working, and also to be thinking about what are the areas that we can adapt and evolve as we move forward. Something that I wrote a article in the Sentinel about the enrollment declines. We're anticipating a continued drop of 2% across the county. And this is going to have some big implications for what the direction of schools in the future. We know that there's housing being built, but we're not exactly sure how that's going to, if that really is going to have a big impact on the numbers of students who are actually enrolled in our schools. And so you're going to be hearing more about this. I really commend what Santa Cruz City Schools is doing. Chris Monroe has been conducting Goals 2030 meetings with the community to talk about what it means, what are the implications. They've been talking about, of course, building housing with the bond that was passed, but also about what is going to happen to schools. How are they going to change, and what are things that the school districts can do to minimize kind of the instability to the business component, the funding that comes in, and also, making sure that we're continuing to provide the very best educational experience for students in our system. Just a couple of health updates. We continue to work with SafeRx, which is part of this, the Health Improvement Partnership, to make Narcan available in our community. We had a pop-up on April 24th at Cabrillo College with SafeRx. That was a great success. We gave out over 550 doses of Narcan to the community. We gathered a little bit of data while we were there. The SafeRx volunteers asked what part of the county. 17% from South County, about 55%, something like that, from Mid County, so the Aptos, Capitola area, and then about maybe 25% or so, and I don't know if that adds up to 100, but come from North County. And so we're now going to be, we're planning a pop-up at Watsonville High School on June 17th. And that's going to go, we're also going to be putting out information to the community about what Narcan is, what fentanyl is, the dangers of fentanyl, and really creating this sense of, to reduce the stigma about Narcan, and really think of it as something you should just have in your medicine cabinet. And that just in case there is a situation where somebody overdoses on some kind of opioid. But I think that this area is going to be an important one for the county office to continue to promote. Our COVID manager, Heather Thompson, her position was funded out of COVID monies, and we still have some funding available for that. But we've changed her job description to be a broader kind of health, student-based health manager. So it's really all things related to dental care and obesity and Narcan and fentanyl and all kinds of other aspects of health. And so that includes kinder oral health assessments to ensure that students are getting the services that they need. Also health insurance and ensuring that the folks who have Medi-Cal's coverage has lapsed because many families their Medi-Cal insurance lapsed at the end of February, and getting them to, signed up again for Medi-Cal and those kinds of services. I did want to share with you and kind of be a focus for today that some data that we got from the California Healthy Kids Survey. And this is a survey that we've presented to you in the past. We use it quite a lot. It's administered usually every 2 years. It is an anonymous survey. And we ask a lot of questions. And there are certain questions we focus on because research shows that those questions are good predictors for student success, student well-being. And, or, you know, the answers could be, you know, and they're also ones that tell us a lot about mental health. So we're going to share with you the links to our reports for the elementary and secondary. We've also asked for the back end of the data so that we can import it into our portal, so we can actually play with the data, because when you put it into our portal, you can select some of the questions and just look at how our Latinx students respond to a certain question, or how our LGBTQ students respond to a certain question, which is really powerful in that we see that different groups of students respond differently to the question and are impacted differently by different parts of their experiences. So just looking at some data, it's going to be hard for you to see, but what I highlighted was that for the question, for example, if students feel safe at school, we did see a bit of a drop in that area. About 78% of students have said that they feel safe. 35% said that in the last 12 months, they've experienced being hit or pushed at school. 23% have stated that they have experienced cyberbullying. So these are some of the things that we look for. And I'm just giving you a little sample, and I'll be coming back to you once we have the data imported and we receive it from WestEd to give you a little bit more of an equity version of this. But these are the kinds of questions. You'll see at the top of this table, school connectedness, which is a compilation of a variety of different questions. You see that 74% who are in school stated that they feel school connectedness. And of the students who are going to school remotely, like in the virtual academy, 66%. Now, this is really important because school connectedness is strongly linked to other measures of success at the end of school, like graduation and beyond. And so keeping that number high is really important. Some other questions that we ask, looking at, this is broken down now by grades, because we asked the survey, you'll see that it's lower in the upper grades. And so you saw a higher number because fifth graders had a stronger connectedness. But when you get into the middle, into the high schools, you'll see that the school connectedness numbers drop and down to 54% in 11th grade. That's a very troubling number. Almost half of our students do not have that connectedness in school. Having relationships with caring adults, that's one of those questions. Oops, sorry about that. One of those questions that is a subset of that school connectedness. You'll see that it's in 57 and 62 broken down by grade. And then looking at school safety and cyberbullying, feeling students perceiving themselves as feeling safe or very safe, again, close to 50%. And those experiencing harassment or bullying between 35, 30, or 29 and 21%. And then just looking at issues of drug use, we see that there's a big increase as in the 11th grade, up to 24% of students stating that they have used, they currently use alcohol or drugs. The NT column, by the way, are non-traditional column, and that's a lot of our alternative students who are ungraded or in a different kind of program. And then some of the questions related to social emotional health, you'll see that about a third of our students are stating that they are feeling social emotional distress, experiencing chronic sadness or helplessness. You'll see that the numbers are also in the 30s. And then students who seriously considered suicide in the last 12 months, has stayed relatively about 15%. Now, this is one of the questions that when you look at specific groups of students, which we will be able to do later on, you'll see that for students, for example, who identify as LGBT, that number goes up to almost 40% or even beyond 40%. And so it is just a reminder of the work that we have to continue to do to provide support, mental health services, strengthen the supports at home for both acceptance and also among peer groups, and some of the work that we continue to do, we are doing and will continue to do into next year. So speaking of next year, a big focus on mental health is going to, as we end we're getting to the end of the school year. And as you see our budget for next year coming around, mental health is going to continue to be a big focus for us, and that will continue to support school districts. We are moving forward with 2 wellness centers in North County school districts. We are hoping to have those open at some point in the fall, and in some way or other, I think it's going to be a work in progress. We are launching our 2nd year of our Student Trustee Academy. We have 6 sessions that are going to be going. We're going to give you the dates if you'd like to drop in. And we're recruiting students right now. And yes, we're going to continue to recruit students from our alternative schools as Trustee Felicetti continues to advocate for.
Can we recruit
And,
if we show up there?
Can you recruit students? Well, if at some point, we had kind of made an agreement that if we were unable to find an alternative education student, that you were going to open it up for a non-alternative education student to represent the county students. And so I'm getting to the point where I'm going to make that recommendation for you to consider that. And so what we could do is have a student from a non-alternative school and continue to try to recruit a student from an alternative school. And if we get 2, one from a non-alternative school and one from an alternative school, then more the merrier. So if you're interested, perhaps we could utilize the academy as a place to recruit a student to represent the students of the county here at the board.
It would seem to me that you said there were 6 sessions for the academy. So if somebody made a pitch early on, then that gives a student time to think about it as they learn more. So
We rotate through just going.
So I think it's important. I mean, these kids are learning what it means to be a trustee of a traditional school and what their trustees do that supports their school district. Certainly, if we invite somebody from a traditional school to be a member of this board, I do think it's really important that somebody early on talks to them about what the responsibilities of this board are. That we talk to them about giving kids second chances and the types of the variety of people who attend our schools and that type of thing. Because I'm really hoping that will inspire a particular student that wants to have that more global, more whatever viewpoint. Come in and try something that's different than what they're experiencing in their own school, which is itself a big learning curve.
When we brought a student representative into Scotts Valley, we assigned a mentor. And I did that with the students, sat with them during the meeting, whispered back and forth, notes, etc. So it was a very consistent kind of side education. Yeah.
Right. Did you have more?
I do. Yes. Sorry for that aside conversation, but I'm very excited about that. And what I think we can do is have an application process for students. And then maybe a subcommittee of the board could review those applications and get a recommendation from the staff that's working with the students and you can select them. That's great.
Remind me the timing of the academy. Is that over the summer?
So it's over the summer. It starts kind of in the middle of June. And what's the first date? Yeah. So it's so we have 2 sessions. So for over June 20th, we'll look it up as we're. Yes. Yeah, we would be able to report back to you in either June or July. So we are in the process of hiring a family engagement coordinator. And so we're really excited about that. So we hope to expand our services for parents and parent engagement for next year. We see this as something not only to work with all of the family engagement work there's amazing work that's happening at all the districts. And Angela has been helping to facilitate a coalition of family engagement folks that meet on a quarterly basis and share ideas and recommendations, but also to help us with our own family engagement. So whenever we're thinking about something, we're thinking about mental health, well, what's the parent component of that? We're talking about Narcan, well, how are we reaching parents, which parent groups, and so on. So I think that's going to be something that's going to be really exciting. Our strategic plan, which if you remember is that circle, that blue circle, that strategic plan is going to be coming to a, the 5-year plan is going to end next year. And so next year will be the time for us to review it and update it. And so we're going to ask your support to work on that. We have been talking to Joby and a variety of different folks, Cabrillo College, an engineer, a local engineer called Tim Sylvester, who does the X Academy and robotics team, to look at a countywide effort for robotics, starting in the middle school and then also at the high school, and also to have 2 robotics teams, one in North County, one in South County. Because one of the things that we recognize is that robotics has so many different skill sets, whether you're doing the coding or doing the manufacturing or you're doing the project management. It is something those skills could be used in any career, and the teamwork that comes with it and the problem solving. And so it is something that we think is not only, we don't just want it to be for a select few, we want this to be something that is equitably accessible for students. So we've reached out to PVUSD and they want to partner with us. They already have some robotics work that they're doing, but we were looking at a countywide effort, and the superintendents are really excited about this idea. It would be mostly an after-school type program, and that the districts would take on. We would provide some professional development, some kits, and then also have a robotics teams, which would be involved in competitions. So something, and Joby seems to be excited about the idea. So hopefully we can. Well, so one of the X Academy robotics group is actually down the street, not at Joby, but at another location. And they actually are going to the World Championships. And so we're partnering with them to be part of this effort. That's kind of one of the reasons why. And this would have a CTE. We're also reached out to Cabrillo College to ask if they'd be willing to create a robotics program, because they don't have one. They have a robotics club, but they don't have any courses that are for robotics. And so we would want to create 2 robotics classes at the high school level that students could then go into a 3rd program at Cabrillo College and create that pathway. So, and then finally, we're looking forward to seeing you on Saturday for our retreat. Any questions for me?
Are we all going to be there? Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to serve cake?
Would you like some more cake?
Is it going to be in here, or is it going to be across the street?
We will actually be at the tech center because it is much more comfy.
Is there a lot of air in there? Okay.
Yeah.
That's where we just were.
Where the cake was.
Okay, there may still be cake there. when we-
That is the
it's only a
tech
few
room.
days away.
All the TVs.
There's a small room all crowded full of technology.
No, it's that big room.
It's that big room.
It's not the hut. Okay, I'm getting that mixed up with that conference room we were in, the cake room.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sabah. Trustees, let's have our trustee reports. I went to the QYLA dinner the other night. It was, as was described, fabulous, and did a little bit of committee work and modified a resolution. Generally tried to cope with things. That's what I've done.
Did the same board agenda planning, rainbow flag, board charter subcommittee, picnic, delicious. Watched the CSBA analysis of the governor's May revise, right over my head. And I just wanted to say one thing about Twyla. I have been involved in schools at the board level since the onset of this, and to see the advancement and the number of organizations that are now supporting these students is phenomenal. All the tabling and whatever, but I would like to say that probably 3 or 4 years, it was right after Scotts Valley opened their high school, and I ran for the school board and made it and became president the first year. Within 2 months, we had a meeting where there were 450 people there, TV stations, radio, et cetera, and the place was just packed. Superintendent was nowhere to be found. And I thought, and it was over, there was a group that probably still exists, the Triangle Speakers. And they had pink triangles that the teacher could put up into their classroom as a safe space for these students or any student that had questions. And I thought, what am I going to do? And it was a moment of brilliance from the heavens, but I said, okay, because there are so many students here, students come first. They've got homework, et cetera, they need to go. I thought the adults in the room were going to tear me apart. But I persisted and had all the students line up and come and speak. I believe there was one student out of many that kind of had an alternate look. The rest were extremely positive. And by the time all the students had spoken, no parents got up. And they were the ones leading the charge. We did lose 5 teachers that year who then went to Pajaro. And as far as I can tell, they started a revolution down there. I mean, because I knew it was hard where we were in Scotts Valley, but Pajaro had it much more difficult. They were going against, I guess it's culture in both places, but different kinds. But anyway, I thought this last Waila was the best yet. And besides the food was good. Got to talk about food. But anyway, it was a great celebration. Thank you.
That reminds me, I wanted to add that at the Career Youth Leadership Awards dinner, education was extremely well represented. And that's important. There were teachers, administrators, graduates. It was clear that the education community of Santa Cruz County was in solidarity.
And if I could add, many of the people that were being thanked and celebrated were educators who were supporting students and giving, helping. So absolutely, I think just a reminder of the importance of schools and creating spaces for students.
Well, and that it has gone down to the elementary level now is absolutely amazing.
All right. So my calendar yesterday, I had a policy platform committee with CCDE. So I'm involved in trying to advocate for COEs across the state, trying to find policy to help represent our students at a state level. We've been really working and pushing for additional funding. So we're very excited and happy to see, that the May revise included, additional funds for juvenile court and county community schools. So excited about that and looking forward to this next year. May 10th was a staff picnic. Really enjoyed that. Thank you, Ferris. It's always fun. It's always a pleasure to see everybody outside of this building, it's outside of this environment, and just to see everybody collaborate and just have fun together. I really enjoyed it. And then the day before, May 9th, we had a charter committee internal amongst us here at the COE, where we spoke about the potential talking points for our meeting with PCS. Yeah, sorry about that. Meeting with PCS. And unfortunately, we were supposed to meet this past week, but we had to reschedule. End of the year is a little hectic, with graduations and finals and whatnot. So hoping that we can get that scheduled soon and hopefully report that to the board in the near future. And that's my report.
I did a little bit of committee work. Oh, the PCS got rescheduled. It was supposed to be pretty busy, like heavy meeting week. But full transparency, I wanted to just say, please forgive me for being a little like MIA and kind of out of it. My grandma was diagnosed with lung cancer a couple months ago, and it's been really hard on my family. And she passed this past weekend, and it's my first like I've had people die in my life, but it's my first big loss. And I've been struggling with it, just to be fully transparent. So I just apologize if I'm a little withdrawn or kind of like a little out of it. But I am really excited for the Saturday meeting. I think it's going to be really fun to spend that time together again.
So sorry. Sorry for your loss. Nothing to share at this time. I'll pass my time.
Okay, I had several things I was really looking forward to on my calendar of going to the picnic and the flag raising, but COVID interfered. So that was my excuse. I spent a lot of time resting up, and I did get better pretty soon. So Nick, you weren't in the room when I thanked you and Bernice for doing so much of the background work on the resolutions, and I really appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Well, I've already talked about Quila. I actually wanted to ask a couple of questions. I'm working with a group of people. The county's giving out money like 10, 15, and 25,000 for organizations that are supporting continuing COVID work. And I don't know if the schools are included in that.
No, I don't think so.
You haven't heard anything?
No.
Okay. I won't worry about it then. I will tell Heather just because I know her. Sue, I'm the wife of a Triangle speaker and who's been to some of those meetings. And you are absolutely right. It's for the kids. Why did my husband keep calling me? It's for the kids to tell their parents how important it is to hear from a variety of adults and have acceptance. And to your point about Watsonville, they're trying very hard to recruit Spanish speakers that can talk to both the kids and their parents and create a sense of support and access in Watsonville. That's definitely the real focus of both the Diversity Center and the Triangle speakers in terms of there seems to be more support up here, and I want to make sure that the kids feel supported in Watsonville. Last but not least, and we can talk more about this tomorrow, there's a group called Wilder that's working on recruiting diverse candidates for boards and commissions. And one of the things that comes up about our board is the time of day. And I appreciate the fact that we have always supported our teachers being here and not having to take time off from work. But it just recognize it is a barrier to people who are not retired, not whatever, to make a 4 o'clock meeting. So I complain about it every year. So I'm just telling you now that it's a barrier that keeps arising. Because not everybody has the luxury of telling their boss that they're going to go to a meeting at 4 o'clock. So having always been a member of a board that met at 7, we can talk more tomorrow if you want to.
Saturday. Good. Great, thank you. Just as a reminder, we have a schedule, Black graduation on May 20th. It'll be in the afternoon, and we've worked it out schedule-wise so that we can do the retreat, and then those of us that want to join. There are graduations. You've all gotten the schedule, and Bernice is helping sign us up for that. And then we're going to have 2 meetings in June, as you will recall, because of the budget adoption process. So on the calendar, 15th and the 22nd.
And then I do want to note, I updated the spreadsheet, but just please note that the CAC South graduation has moved from Wednesday to Thursday. The CAC South graduation at Sequoia has moved from Wednesday to Thursday at 5 p.m.
That's on the spreadsheet. So that
It is. It's just a recent change this week, so I just want to highlight that.
right, unless anybody's just burning to say something, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. No smoke, no fire. Thank you.
Thank you. Great meeting.